to help save a piece of history. CBS Atlanta's Bernard Watson is live in Marietta, where efforts have begun to raise money for a theater that opened more than half a century ago. So Bernard, exactly how long has it been around?
Well, it's been around for 77 years, and people who've been around here for that long say it looks just as good now as it did back then. But they say the cost to renovate that building was not cheap, which is why they are having a fundraiser to help cover the cost. It's a piece of Marietta history.
It opened as a movie theater in 1935. It existed as a movie theater until 1976.
Now, 77 years and a massive renovation later, the Strand is better than ever.
The Strand is such an important resource in our community.
But it's in need of financial help.
Our goal is to retire a $1.6 million construction that was for the renovation and some operating costs associated with starting back up.
The Friends of the Strand are hosting a phone-a-thon that they hope will raise $50,000 by 9 tonight.
We're actually ahead of schedule in terms of what we need to be raising each hour to make $50,000 by 9 o'clock tonight. So we're doing extremely well, but don't want anybody to think that that means, well, don't bother to call in. We need it. Please call in.
Calling isn't the only way to make a pledge.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. We appreciate it. We're so glad you're here enjoying the Strand today.
Roy Ford is visiting from Australia. He stopped by to enjoy the phone-a-thon's music and entertainment that changes every hour.
New clothes in second take, new ties in squeaky break.
We've heard first-class entertainment. That's worth paying for.
Although the debt is large and times are tough, the Strand supporters remain optimistic.
We will continue to find creative ways to make sure that the Strand is always here.
Now, when we came out here a couple of hours ago, the theater had raised about $15,000. Now we are told it is more than $30,000, which has been pledged to help out with the debt. But again, they say, don't let that stop you from continuing to give if you can, and say they have a lot of money to pay back. For now, we are live in Marietta Square. Bernard Watson, CBS Atlanta News.
Nearly 400 of